Okay, I'm going to go over the quiz preview for 3.4.3. We went over it a little quickly today, so I wanted to do this. And it's probably going to be in several parts also. But for question number 1, when you do take this quiz, it's going to ask you something like this. If two lines are parallel, which statement must be true? And the answer is their slopes are equal. Every question here, 1A, 1B, 1C, is all asking you the same thing. So the main thing you need to know for question number 1 is this right here. Parallel lines have the same slope. For example, if they're in slope-intercept form, y equals 3x plus 2, this means is parallel to y equals 3x minus 9. They both have a slope of 3, so they're parallel to each other. Or if they're in point slope form, y minus 2 equals negative 1/2 times the quantity of x plus 3 is parallel to y minus 9 equals negative 1/2 times the quantity of x plus 2. If lines have the same slope, that means they're parallel. If equations have the same slope, it means they're equations of parallel lines. Okay, so on number 1, that's why all of these answers are pretty much the same. If two lines are parallel, which statement must be true? The two lines have the same slope. 1C. If two lines are parallel, what is true? Their slopes are equal. All of these mean the same thing. Question 2 is going to look like this. If two lines are perpendicular, which statement must be true? The slopes of the two lines are negative reciprocals. So what you need to know for perpendicular lines is this. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. In other words, y equals 3x plus 2 is perpendicular to, that's what this little upside down capital T means, perpendicular. It's perpendicular to y equals negative 1/3 x minus 5. Their slopes are opposite reciprocals, or negative reciprocals, as Apex says. This is 3, the slope is negative 1/3. Or if it's written in point slope form, you see the slope here is negative 1/2, the slope here is a positive 2. Their slopes are opposite reciprocals. That means they're perpendicular to each other. So back to the preview here. If two lines are perpendicular, which statement must be true? Their slopes are negative reciprocals. 2C. If two lines are perpendicular, which statement must be true? They have negative reciprocal slopes. Question 3. The lines below are parallel. If the slope of the green line is negative 4, what is the slope of the red line? It also has to be negative 4 because it tells us they're parallel. 3B, the lines are parallel. The slope of the green line is negative 2. What's the slope of the red line? It has to also be negative 2 because they're parallel. 3C, the slope of the green line is negative 3. What is the slope of the red line? If they're parallel, it also has to be negative 3. Question 4. The lines are perpendicular. If the slope of the green line is 2/3, what is the slope of the red line? Well, what is the negative reciprocal of 2/3? Negative 3/2. The lines below are perpendicular. If the slope of the green line is 3/2, what's the slope of the red line? Negative 2/3. They're negative reciprocals because they are perpendicular. What is the slope of a line perpendicular to y equals negative 7/4 x? Opposite reciprocal or negative reciprocal is 4/7. Okay, question 5. Identify an equation in slope-intercept form for the line parallel to y equals negative 3x plus 7 that passes through 2, negative 4. I'm going to stop the video here because I have about a minute before my time runs out, and that's not enough time for me to go over all of these. So if you need help on 5 or probably 6 too, you can go on to the next video.